Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.
BBN Jack Frost, what's up, party people?
BBN Jack Frost, what's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. First of all, that was my whole mouse and shit over here doing this thing. I then knocked it over. I use shout out to Sean Satoro. I use the Dummy Boy book right now as my jump off. Anyway, let's get to the show. I want to say a couple of things real quick. First of all, check out the Dummy Boy book. I want to say a couple of things real quick. I want to be clear. All of this we've already spoken about. So every single thing that's right now transpiring, as in regards to Eric Adams and his acceptance of MAGA policies, we've spoken about. I want to be clear of this. I want there to be zero misunderstanding. Do you remember the morning that Eric Adams' offices were raided and those charges were put on him? Well, we were going to have a completely different show, but instead, our morning coffee was that. And what did I tell you then? I said, Eric Adams had been, for a couple of weeks, complaining that the New York's taxpayer was footing the bill for all of the illegals that were being sent in through the New York City being a sanctuary city. And the deal that he had with the federal government, with the president specifically, Biden, was that for every illegal that is sent to New York, there was going to be a certain amount of funds that comes with that illegal per month in order to pay for them. That's why when they came, they were putting them in all of them luxurious places. Anyway, in any regard, there's even more behind that, but that's neither here nor there. Hold on, because that's a whole different rabbit hole. It's like in this rabbit hole, there's like a subsection of rabbit holes. That's one of them. In any regard. So that morning, Eric Adams was set to jump on a plane to go down to D.C. and have a face-to-face with Biden. And how do we know this to be true? Because he told us about it a day or two prior. He was at one of those town hall meetings, or, it's not a town hall meeting, but, press conferences. And in the press conference, he said, tomorrow, I'm going down to D.C. and speak to Biden face to face next morning. This charge is being put on him. His campaign manager's offense is now being raided. They need to find all of the evidences. I told y'all. Rabbit Villages, the fact is, over these Brendan Washingtons. I told y'all I'm going to say this again, and then we're going to get to a couple of clips, and we're going to have a couple of conversations. But I want to be clear about this. I've told y'all, Eric Adams is more conservative than liberal. All of this BS that they wanted to push on us, and just so we can be clear, that's the reason why Canada is failing. Canada took the policies that the Democrats wanted to run with here in America, and since there's less protections up there because they do not have our Constitution, so since there's less protections against the tyranny of the government, he was able to enact a lot of those policies that were able to be blocked here in America. Have you seen Canada lately? I think I got something. I think I have something. Hold on. Let me just check real quick. I think I got a graph. Not 100% sure. I will tell you what say graph is if I don't have it, or if I do have it, because you're gonna see it. But there was a graph, and basically someone went. I don't know who. It could have been Elon Musk. Could have been anyone. I don't know who, but I don't think it was Elon Musk. Went on Twitter X, and they posted the question of, should Canada become the 51st state of America? And overwhelmingly, it was yes. If you don't know what just happened recently in Canada, also, their Minister of Finance just quit. Just was like, I'm done with this. Because they had to go in front of, like, Parliament and give an explanation about where some of these monies went that nobody knows where they're at right now. So instead of going and attempting to give an explanation for what the current prime minister has done with said monies, they said, we just getting out of town, and they bounced. Why did they fail? Using the same policies that the Democrats down here push. You know that there's more people in jail in Canada for posts that they made on social media than in Europe, than in England. I say specifically, because in England we keep hearing about them locking people up. I think they locked up like 1,200 people, and I believe Canada's higher. I want to say something, and then we're going to show some posts. So, show some clips. So, I'm going to say something, and I'm going to show some clips. The Democratic Party have for a long time played on the fact that we don't know certain things. And so when they come to us and they give us their rendition of a situation, they're always omitting important information. They're leaving things out. So a lot of people who vote Democrat has the best intentions. They're not bad people. But if we were to enact the policies that the Democratic Party wants us to enact, we wouldn't even be able to exist as a sovereign nation much longer. And I think that due to a lack of clarity in a large percentage of the media as of the last, especially the last, you could say 10 years, 10 to 12 years. A lot of people are just misinformed, but if they had the correct information, they would not be voting in the manner in which they are. I just want to say that. Because we go at Democrats over here a lot. And when we had the opportunity, we went at Republicans just as ferociously. Just so we could be clear. So I say all that to say this. Donald Trump just sued and won for defamation because ABC lied on him, and that Stephanopoulos dude, he won. Now he's suing someone else, another media organization. How are y'all going to now stand behind those lies that are being proven to be erroneous in a court of law? And then think about that for one moment, and then think about that they're lies that you've been saying for years and years and years. They made you a liar. They don't love you.
Why did you leave that D label?
That being said,
I
want to start off and show you real quick what Trump said. I'm going to let you see what Adams said first. Let's show what Adams said. I told you Adams was going to be full Maga. I said Adams is, in my opinion, not a liberal. I don't think he's a liberal. I think Adams is much more conservative than liberal. I think the idea that he is liberal is just because he's black. And for everybody that don't know, his initial claim to, I guess, public life or as a servant, other than being a police officer, was when he was the head of the union 100 black police officers. So that's like the beginning of his political, I guess, campaign. So he's always been conservative. He's never been liberal. But you can't be a black man and be like, I'm against some of that weirdo stuff the Democrats say, because then people are gonna just assume insanity about you. People just assume insanity about people. They just do. I have no other explanation for that. It just happens, and you just got to be like, hey, well, insanity's ensuing. In any regard, I'll play Adams first. Check this out.
Think about the shooter. Ivy League, grew up in an affluent household. His manifesto clearly is showing some signs of hating. Our children are being radicalized. I said this over and over again. And everybody's like, what are you talking about, Eric? Our children are being radicalized to hate the America, to hate the country that put them where they are. This person had all that one wants to have, but he hated everything to the point of shooting someone. And we better deal with the radicalization of our young people. And, people could, they could complain that I'm saying it, but I'm seeing it. I'm seeing our bench is hating the team. And we better start acknowledging and focusing on that. And so having dance parties, celebrating the death of someone, I don't support that.
So liberals, I don't want to say backwards, right? But they want to be free to do whatever they want, apparently, right? Let's just, so we can be clear, let's take some examples. Liberals tend to see somebody with a Maga hat on and think that they have the right to verbally attack them. Explain, Seth. Seth says, I think he really needs to just focus on his present situation before he talks out of his mouth. Explain, Seth. I think what he said is a direct protection of what he's going through right now. So, but I'm ready to hear alternative reasoning. So I would like to know what your alternative reasoning is, if you don't mind. Why not? I might be wrong, right? I might be wrong that him taking a hard stand on this might not be a good idea for him. I think that every single sanctuary city mayor needs to go with whatever the incoming policies of, whatever the policies of the incoming president-elect is. I think absolutely 100% of the sanctuary city mayors should do that. So me seeing Adams do that, I think is in protection of his said situation he's in right now. Let me think about that. You are not an easy person to debate. I'm just simply asked you. You said he. Okay, think about it. Not a problem. Think about it. Why not? No rush. With that being said, I got a clip for you.
Would you consider pardoning Eric Adams?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I think that he was treated pretty unfairly. Now, I haven't seen the gravity of it all, but it seems, like being upgraded in an airplane many years ago.
I didn't take it no way.
I know probably everybody here has been upgraded. They see you're all stars, and they say, I want to upgrade that person from NBC. I'm going to upgrade him. And that would mean you'll spend the rest of your life in prison. I don't know. Somehow.
I hope not.
I'd have to see it because I don't know the facts. I think he was treated. It's very interesting when he essentially went against what was happening with the migrants coming in. And, he made some pretty strong statements like, this is not sustainable. I said, you know what? He'll be indicted soon. And I said it not as a prediction, a little bit lightheartedly, but I said it. I said, he's going to be indicted. And a few months later, he got indicted. So yeah, I would certainly look at it.
So, in my opinion, I think that it is in the best interest of all of these sanctuaries, because every sanctuary city is becoming an economic burden on the federal government because of overspending in order to be able to house and feed the illegals. So every sanctuary city is going to need funding from the incoming president. I'm 100% certain that no major funding is going to be given to the city where they would be able to use those funds towards illegals before the federal government moves in to evict said illegals from the nation. So, your elected officials can care about people who snuck across the border more, or they can care about people who were born here. Who was? Born here. more. It's who you choose to vote for. If you're saying, you know what, I want to vote for the purple, and I want y'all to remember, before anybody says that this is insane and crazy, I want y'all to remember that we have a whole entire subset of people who believe that they are going to, who at least willingly give everything that they have for a different race because of their guilt that they feel about how that race was treated. All that's happening is that guilt is now being transferred over to illegals from black people. So, and it's actually, see, that's why I'm like, are y'all thinking about what's going on? Are y'all paying attention? Anyway, in any regard. Sometimes I just don't think. No, when you said that, when you said the thing about the debate, I just really didn't think about it like a debate. I just wanted to know what your angle was. And I was going to play the clip really quick because the clip had to be played within a short period of time of the first clip because therefore it's going to be inside of the same segment. So that's what was processing in my brain, not whether you was or why you was taking your time with responding, just so we could be clear. And if you still feel a need to respond or that you should respond or that you have a good response, I'm more than happy to hear it. Let's go. Even after I gave 100% proof that I was on to something. Anyway, in any regard, let's just listen to that one more time where Trump says that he would consider giving Adams a pardon.
Would you consider pardoning Eric Adams?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I think that he was treated pretty unfairly. Now, I haven't seen the gravity of it all, but it seems, like being upgraded in an airplane many years ago. I know probably everybody here has been upgraded. They see you're all stars, and they say, I want to upgrade that person from NBC. I'm going to upgrade him. And that would mean you'll spend the rest of your life in prison. I don't know. Somehow, I'd have to see it because I don't know the facts. I think he was treated. It's very interesting. When he essentially went against what was happening with the migrants coming in. And, he made some pretty strong statements like, this is not sustainable. I said, you know what, he'll be indicted soon. And I said it, not as a prediction, a little bit lightheartedly, but I said it. I said, he's going to be indicted. And a few months later, he got indicted. So, yeah, I would certainly look at it.
Why is Trump saying the same thing I said when it happened? Like right when it happened. Why is Trump saying the same thing? Why is Trump saying the same thing that I've been saying this whole entire time regarding the Eric Adams situation? He's saying the same thing. Why didn't I tell y'all? I told y'all. Nah, Trump, he fuck with Eric Adams. Watch. Then we heard about the meeting that Trump had with Eric Adams. Now what do you think is going to happen? Eric Adams said, nah, we got to get them up out of here. Why? Because Eric Adams want to get reelected. And the only reason why Eric Adams is in a bad spot with the people right now is because he was following behind the Democratic directives of the top of the party. And if he wasn't following those directives that came from the top of the party, he wouldn't be in bad sorts with us right now. And people would probably be happy about him being the freaking the mayor. So you know how pissed he is. You know how pissed he is that he considered himself a person who said that I was going to clean up the streets. Then all of a sudden they dump a ton of illegals into the country that don't even speak English, most of them. And a large percentage of them are straight up criminals. And another large percentage of them aren't criminals, but they will do some shady shit in order to feed them and their family. So that part, they just dumped them on Eric Adams' doorstep with no funding. And remember, Trump is from New York City. You don't think Trump was like, nah, I got you. You don't think Trump said that? Are you on what we on or you on what they on? You're not on what they on? So you on what we on. All right, let's go. You don't think that conversation was had? But if you get in my way, nah, don't worry about it, fam. I don't trust the rat bastards no more. You don't think that conversation was had? Seth Triple says, I believe that it would be in Adams' best interest to not just say that much, period, regarding laws or politics, but to lay low as best as he can. I don't think so at all. I think he should stand right in front of whatever's going on right now, because his whole thing is that he didn't do it. why should he be laying low? I would avoid the person like the fucking plague. If I saw the person that lied on me walking down the street, I'm just going to avoid them. If I seen them in the train, I'm just going to avoid them. This person is a liar. There's no telling what kind of lie is going to come next. I would avoid them like the plague until I die. But nah, we're not running from shit because we didn't do anything. Nope. He's saying, I'm not talking about whatever information is anywhere. I'm saying he's innocent. So if he's saying he's innocent, why should he lay low? I'm not talking about what the facts is. I'm not even talking about whether he's actually guilty or not. That's a totally different conversation. I'm saying he's saying that he's innocent. Why should he lay low? Nope, not defending nobody. That's not defending nothing. That's not defending. I don't know what you're talking about. He is saying that he is innocent. So why should he lay low? What does that have to do with defending anything? Or offending anything? What does that have to do with anything? Anything. So I don't know what you're trying to say. I would need you to be more clear because that's not saying anything. I'm not saying he's doing anything. There's nothing happening. He's saying he didn't do anything. So how will he be getting in trouble? He's saying he didn't do anything. So how can anything be used in court against him? Why should he believe that he would get in trouble or anything could be used in court against him if he's saying he's innocent? He didn't do it. Why should any of those things be a fear of his? Explain that. Brandon Washington says, just thinking about it though, Steph, if he keeps quiet, it's easier for them to cover it up and sweep the situation under the rug. Absolutely. Brandon Washington over there using all of his brains. He said, you know what? I'm going to put an intelligent comment in the comment section. In any regard, while you're saying that a man that is saying, any person that is saying that they are innocent, that they should be in hiding, I'm saying if you are innocent, you should, he's making the same point I'm making, but his point is valid, not mine. Wink, wink, I get you. He's making the same exact point that I'm making. The same exact point. But, you know, shout out to Brandon Washington. Wink, wink. Your point is valid. Your point is super valid. You just see this shit in real time and you just gotta be like, fam, really? When you just see it in real time, you gotta be like, the hate is real, fam. You just see it in real time. Anyway, get back to what I'm talking about. So I want to be clear about this. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. I want there to be zero misunderstanding. Eric Adams is in his best interest to comply with the president-elect because his own people already sold him up the river.
Would you consider pardoning Eric
Yo,
Adams?
why ain't they on her? Like, look how you did that person. Now you want them to hold out and hang out with you and do stuff. So I want to say something real quick. First, hold on. Let me check this other thing. Real quick. Let me look at what I got over here real quick before we get to the next segment. All right, we still on this. All right, check this out. Just so we could be clear why Eric Adams should not be being quiet and how that would be actually working against him, because by him being quiet, he would not be allying himself and siding with the current incoming president as he should be if he would like to be pardoned. Sometimes you just gotta, I don't know. Could I be more clear than that? I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, President-elect Donald Trump said Monday he's considering pardoning embattled New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Trump was blunt when asked by a reporter during a press conference at his Mar-a-Lago resort if he'd come to Adams' rescue with a presidential pardon. I would, he said. I think he's been treated pretty unfairly. The declaration came as Adams battled for his political life and potential freedom against a historic bribery and corruption federal indictment, charges which he denies. Many in Adams' camp have seen another Trump presidency as a potential boon for their defense, either through a pardon or a sympathetic appointee to the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office, which is leading the case against the mayor. So I'm going to add this point just to double down on why it's important for him to be siding with the incoming president-elect, whom, might we also add, has had some of the same things done against him that is being done against the incoming president-elect Trump, has had lawfare done against him, just as Mayor Adams has had lawfare done against him. So here's another reason why he should be siding with him, just so we could be 100% clear. One of the things that Trump is also doing is saying that those charges that were against him were trumped up, unfair, and unconstitutional, and actually they shouldn't exist. They brought charges against both of these individuals, and Trump is saying that it's lawfare against him. Now, Trump is openly also now saying that he believes that that's lawfare against Adams. You don't think that's going to sway a judge? Let's just be honest. Not all judges hate Trump. And also, just so we could be clear, it's kind of obvious. So you don't think having an incoming president-elect speak in your defense, not just in your defense, but saying that what's happening to you, which is unconstitutional, is also happen to him. So I think sometimes what happens is we as a people forget that other people are also people. I think we forget that sometimes. So no, having Trump come out and knowing that Trump's case is going to most likely get dissolved, it's going to go away. You want your case mentioned with Trump case. Trump case is going to go away. He might not. And now Trump is saying, I'm going to pardon him. You think there's a judge that's going to want to be behind the bullshit of having his, whatever happened in his courtroom now pardoned by the fucking president? The president is actively saying, I will pardon him. I don't think sometimes I don't know. No, everybody has the right to believe what they want. Shout out to you. Anyway, in any regard, Trump has repeatedly expressed his belief that Adams is being railroaded by overzealous federal prosecutors. So Trump is also saying that you don't think he should be standing with Trump? Because he's saying that, and he also repeated it on Monday. He questioned the accusations that he questioned the accusations that Adams took bribes from Turkish officials and nationals in the form of luxury flight upgrades. Now, I haven't seen the gravity of it all, but it seems like it's being upgraded on an airplane many years ago. And he said, I think everybody here has been upgraded. I'd have to see it because I don't know the facts. So he's having something held against him, and now they're trying to. I didn't show you it. Hold on, I'll show you it so you can see. Pardon me. Good thing I was reading it because I was highlighting it. Look, He questioned the accusations that Adams took bribes from Turkish officials and nationals in the form of luxury upgrades. So, I just want to be clear on this. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding, and I want to be clear on this. These dudes are politicians. You know how often they get upgrades? You know how often a celebrity or somebody that people know will get an upgrade? You know how many seats be empty in like first class and shit like that when they be flying a lot of the times? You know how many people just get upgrades? So he's bringing charges against him because he got some upgrades on the plane? Not his bank account got big. Not he bought a house. Not his net worth went from 1.5 million to 650 million. But no. He got some upgrades on the plane. Let's see the attack. Most intelligent people that I know do not believe any words that come out of Trump's mouth, and few of them do. Oh, really? So intelligent people you know don't believe things that Trump say? Don't worry, we're going to have clips later showing how the Democrats lie, and all of the lies are basically things that they said against Trump. So, don't worry about it. We could do it right now. We have a segment on our show called Democrats Always Lying. So let's show some shit that the Democrats lied about Trump about that people generally say that Trump is lying about. And first, let's start with the J6 hoax. Remember this? People said that Trump was lying when he said it was a hoax. So apparently, they had some FBI agents that was in the crowd with people, and they were helping to escalate the situation and turn it from something that could have been seen as peaceful into what it became, that is now seen as, an insurrection. So this is actual FBI informants informants or officers taking some of the people from one area to another area in cuffs and then uncuffing them, proving that it was all a hoax. But more importantly, let's just listen to the CIA themselves.
Jail if you know what to do.
How? Does the Bureau practice entrapment a lot?
We get really close. We call it a nudge.
A nudge.
A nudge. Sometimes you just gotta give them a quick little, just to see what happens. Sometimes you light the fuse and just wait for it to follow. And that's when we're putting out a fake social media thing to like really get people mad.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, so we were after him.
You are?
We did what we wanted.
Which was what?
Took his money away, chopped his legs off.
You can't come into a conversation,
Gavin O'Blennis
right,
is a contracting
be
officer
wrong
at the CIA.
about everything
O'Blennis
you
worked
say,
for the FBI
and
in
say this is why you
2021 and
care more about
2022
sports
in the
and
San
music.
Diego office,
You know you
moved
didn't
on to
know what you
Homeland
was talking
Security
about.
where he conducted asylum interviews at the southern border,
You know that
and
you
now
was
works for
coming
the
to hate us and
CIA
stuff,
managing
but you didn't know what you
multi-million-dollar contracts across government
just thought
agencies
by
and
me,
private
I
sector
wasn't gonna
vendors.
be
I work for
literally
I work
ready.
like this without.
This is the segment.
I'm not supposed to tell people kind of job. If I say intelligence, what do you think?
CIA?
Yep,
Oh, you work for the CIA?
I do.
That's
I'm
incredible.
a contracting officer.
That's amazing.
So I deal a lot with like different agencies. We're contracting with like Director of National Intelligence to do stuff. We do Navy, Army, any of them really. I just FBI. I used to work for the FBI, so
Anyway.
they threw the FBI at me. They're like, here, you used to work there. Oh, I'm going. I'm staff. Yeah.
Good. Well, why do they call it contracting?
Because I do the contracting. I do all the
Did you know
legal contracts.
that the U.S.
Fly
government
out to vendors and evaluate them. I love the agency.
Good for you.
I like the Bureau too. The Bureau was a lot of fun. I got to do a lot of cool stuff with the Bureau.
And I wanted to play this the other day, and I didn't get around to it. What the fuck? Pardon my language. Did I just accidentally delete? Oh, there we go.
But did you know that the U.S. government collects roughly $4.7 trillion in gross taxes? 2023, $4.7 trillion, of which Do you know what percentage of those taxes is from tariffs that we get from other countries? You know what the number is? Only $80 billion. That's it. Now, this is why this is so weird. The $80 billion that we collect, if you go back and look at the history of America, where we got our income from to pay for everything, you know 100% of the money, the taxes that the U.S. government collects.
I think I want to just say something real quick. I'm going to leave it right there because I want to just really explain what this means by how tariffs used to be 100% of the U.S. government tax revenue, but now it's only 2%. There's two things that they're expressing there. Pay attention. One, the government was so much smaller back then. It was smaller government. That's one. Two, there wasn't a need for an income tax or a tax revenue. There was no need for it. There was already a surplus from the tariffs. So that tells me two things. And the first thing is that we do not need to have income tax. Because America has something that many of these other countries don't have. And that's people who openly and freely spend their money because we are the best capitalist society there probably is. Currently. People money don't stay in their pockets more than 5 minutes in some communities. You understand? You want to sell your goods here. If I'm wrong about the whole wanting to sell goods here, then why did Trump just do a deal? He's not even the president yet. Why did he just do a deal with Japan for like $100 billion? He just did a $100 billion deal with Japan. You know about that, right? And the Japanese dude signed it laughing and having a great time. So good of a time. Trump joked about making it 200 billion. Not million, billion. So, just so we can be clear, Biden has y'all celebrating when he's sending money to the Ukraine. But I don't see the press celebrating enough for when Trump is getting money from other countries. So I don't know about these intelligent friends you speak of. Brandon Washington says, BBN, that dude, the wrong person to be working for, the CIA, he sounds like a national security risk. That easy on camera, he's like, they're all getting caught that easy on camera because they all talk like this in their private spaces. They're all getting caught on camera. They all, I'm sweating like hell, it's hot as heck in here. Shout out to the landlord. They're all getting caught like this. Because they all talk like this in their private spaces. These dudes has been untouchable for who knows how long. These guys is, and this is what I was trying to explain the other day, right? And we've talked about it previously, but basically, a president or whoever gets elected, they appoint somebody to a position. That person is appointed to that position. Now, the president ain't in office no more. That person still got that position. Another president goes in, comes out. That person still got that position. Another president goes in, comes out. That person still got that position. They're not elected. Somebody just hired them. Nobody thought about replacing them, so they just kept their job. Do you understand what the DOJ is about to do? They're about to get rid of a lot of these agencies that just exist right now. They're not really doing anything. That's what's about to happen. People, I don't think, really understand what's going on. I just don't think people understand what's going on. I think people sincerely believe a lot of the things that they're seeing on CNN of the world. Well, Trump is now suing these news agencies and winning. So all of y'all people out there that believe those news agencies and thought Trump was lying, what up now? Also, might I add, something that I had told y'all before, these leftists, it's not even all Democrats. It's the extreme. And there's a very little percentage of them niggas. There's not that many of them. They're not. They're just loud. And their own party don't shut them up enough. That's it. Their own party leave it up to people outside the party to say something to them. They don't shut them up enough. When they should be trying to shut these fools up every 5 minutes because they don't say nothing that makes sense. I heard a lady say that her husband voted for Trump, so she's going to go sleep with his friends. I hope that was a prank. She's going to go sleep with his friends because he voted Trump and Trump won. Like, just absolute insanity. So, I don't know what to tell you. So I don't know what to tell you. In any regard. Did I have something else on?
But did you know that the U.S. government collects roughly $4.7 trillion in gross taxes? 2023, $4.7 trillion. Of which, do you know what percentage of those taxes is from tariffs that we get from other countries? You know what the number is? Only $80 billion. That's it.
So we're talking about the Democrats, so I want to show you something else.
Why did you leave that D label behind?
I never felt comfortable being a Washington Democrat, and you couldn't shake the D. The brand from Washington is so bad. So if you're in a blue state, the R brand is bad, I guess. But if you're in a red state, the D brand is just so bad because they're the overreach, the overindulgences as far as in people's lives, intrusion, I said every human being in America, 346 million people, absolutely should have the opportunity to the pursuit of happiness, to live a quality life in this country. And we should protect you to have that. Just don't mainstream some of the things that are out of the mainstream. Don't try to make everyone believe this is normal. This is how your family, this is how your children should be taught or what you should learn. Don't do that. We can do pretty good on our own. And that's what I've tried to get across to people, and they don't seem to understand.
So, like I said, there are Democrats that are sane, and then there's the far left extremist Democrats, just like there's Republicans that are sane, and then there's the far left right wings. I think the problem is people have been associating all Republicans with the far right wing Republicans, and people have been associating all Democrats with Democrats that are in the middle. You know, the ones that are like normal human beings and not maniacs. So I think that that's the issue. I think that is an issue. Pardon me. I think it is an issue. I think that we need to start associating more Democrats with, at least leaning far left. At least to a minimum. Because I don't think we have many Democrats that's in the middle anymore, and they're just actual Democrats. Because too many of them are helping agendas or agreeing with agendas that just don't make sense to me. And they're just agreeing with those agendas because they're you say what I say what you say, people. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you agree with more than what I said. You agree with the other thing that I said as soon as Brandon Washington said it. But when I was saying it, you didn't agree with it. So you agree with more than just that. Just when I speak, you're going to not agree. So stop, fam. All right? With that being said, so the Democrats have this open border policy, right? So I want to show y'all something else. I don't know the accuracy of this video that I'm about to show you. I found this video on Instagram. I don't know the accuracy of the video. We'll look at, and right now, right after this, we'll look and see if we can find something online. I don't know the accuracy of this video. But this is wild. And if this is true, and if this video is accurate, this is bananas. Check this out.
This world getting crazy and crazy. They just found a Coca-Cola truck full of kids in Cicero, Illinois. This shit wild, man.
Bro, they just found a truck full of kids in that motherfucking Coca-Cola motherfucking truck. We on, hey, they got you now. This shit crazy. I'm telling you, a million kids in that motherfucker. I wonder how far they just traveled. This shit is crazy.
Y'all need to keep an eye out on y'all kids and know their whereabouts at all times. For real, for real. This world crazy as hell.
Don't know the accuracy of that, so hold on. Freakingly. Sheen Magazine. News break. Let's go look at the news break. Oh, no. I don't know what this is. It's back out. All this is one day. That's on Instagram. Look. So no major networks. No major networks. No major networks. Kid found in a Coca-Cola truck. Where the hell is NBC, ABC, CBS? Where they at? In a shocking incident that occurred, in a shocking incident that stirred certain, in a shocking incident that stirred concern across Decatur, Illinois, 2 young people were discovered alone in a Coca-Cola delivery truck December 14th in 2024. The alarming situation unfolded when a vigilant citizen noticed the children 4 and 6 unattended in the parked vehicle, prompting a call to the police. Upon arrival, law enforcement found the children unharmed but clearly in distress due to their isolation. The truck was parked in a lot adjacent to a bustling shopping area, raising immediate questions about their safety and well-being. The investigation revealed that the mother had left them in the truck while she ran errands in a nearby store, decision that which soon led to serious repercussions. As a result of her actions, the mother was charged with child endangerment. The legal action highlights the gravity of the neglecting. Well, I thought this was way more than it was, but this is bananas. Yo, did y'all? I saw this. I thought this was way worse than it was. I'm very happy that this is what it is, and it wasn't way worse than what I thought it was. And let me just say that glory be to God, Jesus is King. I just want to say that. In conclusion, the Decatur Coca-Cola truck incident is not just a local story, but a cautionary tale for communities everywhere. A cause for vigilance and responsibility from all caregivers, reinforcing the idea that safeguarding our children is a collective duty that must never be taken lightly. As we move forward, let us commit to fostering a culture of safety, ensuring that our children remain protected in every space. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so that's not as bad as I thought it was. Sheesh. Thought it was way worse than that. Can we talk about the shooting that has happened? Can we talk about the shooting? I want to talk about the shooting. I know it's not in the title. I think we talked about the Trump angle. I think we talked about Eric Adams' angle. I think we talked about the Democrats just in general. Again, this is going to be a conversation that's going to be wrapped in political furor because, to be perfectly honest with you, first, let's just say something in speaking about the subject of the liberal adults in America. Have you seen how zany they have been? Have you seen how whacked out most of them a lot of them have been? Not most, that's not fair. The extreme liberals, all of them. But, you know, have you seen how whacked out and zany they have been? Yeah, I ever thought about the fact that many of them have children? I wonder if anybody's ever thought about that. These people have children that live with them, that they care for, that witness this absolute insanity on a daily basis. That witness these people not being able to walk out their house, see somebody with a MAGA hat on and not lose their shit. Anybody ever think about the children? They got to live in these situations. I say all that because we have a couple of articles here. This one is cop says female teen 15 teacher student in horrid shooting, Christian school, Madison, Wisconsin, right? And then this one, the same one. Hold on, I double clicked or some shit. Pardon me. Well, that's when we get back. Come back. Okay, triple clicked. That's when we come back. Okay, quadruple clicked. I think they just kept sending me the same story. I just kept clicking on it with different pictures or some shit like that. Them niggas is tricky. All right, here we go. So let's get into this real quick. It says a gun-toting teenager in a Christian school in Madison, Wisconsin shot dead another teen pupil and a teacher inside of a classroom during study hall Monday morning, according to police. 6 more people were injured, including 2 students who were left with life-threatening wounds, authorities said. The other 4 people hurt were 3 students and a teacher, authorities said. 2 of them have been released from the hospital by Monday evening. The 15-year-old Natalie Samantha Rudnow. So her name is Natalie, but she goes by Samantha. And let's just let the get the talk about the elephant in the room real quick. So apparently she's an extreme feminist. She hates men. She wants all men dead and gone. She's an extreme feminist. So I'm not saying that she's one of the people that's like, you know, gender, I don't know what you want to call it, non-binary, or, you know, they like, you know, their gender's not, you know, confined to man or woman, or that she is. Her gender is confined to the one that she was given at birth. Apparently, I don't think that that's the particular case here. It's a good chance that it's something more to that, as far as this particular allegedly she was being reported as being transgender. Like, let's be honest, that's what we all thought immediately. And I'm saying all that to say this: how many of these previous shooters that we have been coming in contact with, that have been doing these horrible things, are all apparently a part of the Democratic train of thought. Even the ones that went after Trump, they're all part of the Democratic train of thought. So, you know, that's why I was having that discussion before we're having this discussion, just so we could be clear. The 15-year-old shooter, Natalie Samantha, she didn't even like a dude. She's not even a dude. She just wanted to be a different female, apparently. I don't know. She didn't even, like, that's not even a nickname. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, suffering from self-inflicted gunshot wound, authorities said that she took her own self. She was pronounced deceased on the way to the hospital. Both fatal victims was pronounced deceased at the scene. The gunfire broke out just before 11 a.m. local time at the Abundant Life Christian School, a K-12 facility with about 400 students, where police found multiple victims with gunshot wounds, cops said. Why does that guy look like Star-Lord? Second grader believed to be in a nearby classroom called 911 for help. Shout out to the second grader. According to Madison Police Chief Sean Burns. Burns said during one of the several briefings that authorities arrived at the school within 3 minutes of receiving a 911 call from an active shooter. He said the shooter's family is cooperating with law enforcement, but the motive behind the bloodshed remains unclear. Into Monday evening, there will be clear warning signs that suggested violence would occur at the school, Barnes said. There were no clear warning signs that suggested violence would occur at the schools, Barnes said. We do not know know that the shooter had any prior contact with law enforcement, he said. Many of you have asked me about this, about the why of this. Why did this happen? What was the motivation? I do not know, the cop said. A law enforcement official told CNN Rudnow planned the attack ahead of time, and evidence gathered so far indicate she wrote some of her problems down, writing that are more reviewed by investigators. Don't ask me why I'm reading like this. Barnes, I'm thinking something else at the same time, so I'm thinking of something else. I got my mind on something else. Part of me. Barnes said police was aware of an alleged manifesto that might belong to the shooter and is circulating online, but they have not verified the authenticity of the documents. The police chief added that the school appeared to be divided into sections at age group, and there's no evidence anyone was injured who was not in the age group, suggesting that those hurt might be teens and their teachers. Today truly is a sad day for Madison and for our country, Barnes said. It is a day that I believe we live in our collective minds for a very, very long time. At an earlier press conference, police erroneously said 5 people, including a gunman, were deceased, but later walked back that death toll. Police did not fire their weapon at the shooter. It was self-inflicted, for anybody that was wondering. They said it a little bit earlier. We know that this is the middle of the day, of the school day, and so there will be other injuries that we'll have to face in a very, very long time. Barnes said we're going to do everything that we can as a community to heal those injuries as well. Parents were reunited with the children following the unnerving chaos, authorities said Monday evening. Bethany Hyman, whose daughter attends the school, described her terror before she FaceTimed with her child and learned she was safe. As soon as it happened, your world stopped for a minute. Nothing else matters, Hyman said. I'm still laughing at the Hyman joke. Hyman said, there's nobody around you. You just bolt for the door and try to do everything you can as a parent to be with your kids. She said, unfortunately, such violence is all too frequently a reality these days. Once again, it seems like, and I think that's enough. It's a thing, so we know. I guess we have an understanding about where these places are. Yeah, this is definitely a tragedy. Young lady felt that she was obviously confused. She was an extreme feminist that believed that all men should be exterminated. She hated men. Men were the root of every problem. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's what the Democratic Party teaches. That's what they teach. When you look at or when you see something the Democratic Party is doing, it's usually anti-men. It is what it is. I don't understand how black people and black men specifically can still even be part of the Democratic Party. I don't understand it. I know how much black men love to have a family. Even the ones that are saying that they don't. I know how much they want to have a family. I know. So while I'm going to explain something. Do y'all want to know I don't know if this was an intended purpose, but one of the unintended, I guess, results of this ideology that we have, or this mindset that we have, that men are bad, and in most cases, not just men, but specific men are bad for specific reasons. You do know that not only are females affected by this, but men are also affected by this. And many men don't want to be men because they believe these things to be true. And other men believe these things to be true. So they believe that this is the way that they're supposed to conduct themselves in order to prove that they are a man. So the idea in itself is destroying our community, even before it gets outside of our community, where people are then able to use this against us as a way to support their bigotry or their racism. So even before it leaves our community, inside of our community, that mindset is already wreaking havoc. This is why I have so many issues with the Democratic Party. Because I don't have a problem with pushing, you know, the love for women. I think that we should push the love for women, how women need to be loved and protected, and the things that men need to be able to do in order to be able to make sure that their home is adequate to even have a wife to begin with, right? So in order for the woman to have the protection, we have to make sure that the man that she's going to marry is competent, capable, and ready. And how are we going to do that if we're also fighting against the men at every step they go? Answer that for me. At every step. Because it's become more important for a man to have a woman than it's become important for a man to have a good woman. People will clap it up for you when you got a woman that is, you know, everything look good on the outside, but you dying on the inside. But people will clap it up for you. You'll live with that bullshit. People will also shit on you when they see that you're living in a fucking terrible situation. But guess what? They're not going to handle it the same way when a woman is in a terrible situation. They're going to want to save her. They're going to call you weak. In any regard. The Democratic Party is destroying all fabrics of our society with their liberal leanings. Period. It's not all Democrats, but right now it is the ones at the top of their party. They need to be removed. There's other Democrats that can come in and do a great job. The people who are voting Democrat needs to start voting for them. That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen. Stop voting for the people who could get behind the biggest bullshit fucking agenda. And start voting for the people who have actual plans. Y'all vote for whoever has the biggest agenda. Or the agenda of the moment. Y'all don't vote for the one who has the best ideas. Y'all don't vote for y'all don't love the nigga that got the good ideas. That nigga gets shit on. The one with the good ideas. He get crapped on. He got to get by with breadcrumbs. The people that don't have no ideas. The people that can't even whatever, you love them. Those are the bestest. Those are the most bestest. In any regard. I'm laughing. What time we got? We only been on here about an hour. I got a little bit more to talk about, and then I guess I'll let y'all go. A little bit more to talk about. I want to talk about this with y'all real quick. Oh, wrong screen. I want to talk about this with y'all real quick. This is terrible. Just so we can be clear, and we got to fix this situation. We're not gonna fix this situation until we get that. Until y'all stop catering to these Democrats and that whole leftist mindset. They poisoning the children. They poisoning everybody. That whole mindset. I don't care what nobody say. That's what I believe. Trump mocked Trudeau over top official shocking exit after tariff clash. The great state of Canada is stunned. Okay, I got to say something real quick. So people keep saying that Trump doing this tariff thing isn't going to do anything. He's doing a... Why is Canada shitting on themselves then? I need for somebody to explain to me why Canada is shitting on themselves if the thing that Trump isn't going to do isn't going to absolutely fuck them up, and they better fucking comply with what he wants them to do. Y'all do know they're crapping on themselves right now, right? And they're crapping on themselves so much to the point where all Trump said is that, yo, should we make Canada the 51st state? People is now quitting. They're coming out openly saying Justin Trudeau gotta go. And just so we could be clear, how does this article start? Why do I say things and then the next day it's in the news? I'm not saying anybody listening to me because I believe this person does not even know what my page is. But what I'm saying is, how do I consistently know what I'm talking about? Trump jumped on Trudeau's waning popularity and troubles after the finance minister, Chrystia Freeland, quit a Monday night. And with the president-elect labeling his Canadian counterpart governor, referencing a previous joke about the U.S. annexing its northern neighbor. The great state of Canada is stunned as the finance minister resigns or was fired from her position by Governor Justin Trudeau. Trump posted on Truth Social Monday night. I'm going to tell you something that the Democrats absolutely effed up, and this is one of their biggest mistakes that they made, kicking Trump off of Twitter. Once they kicked Trump off of Twitter and Trump made the Truth Network, it was over for them. It was over. It was completely over. Now they have zero way of doing anything to block what Trump was saying. There's nothing that they could do. He had his own platform that he controlled. That means also people who think similarly to him can go to that platform and have a conversation with each other without Twitter fucking blocking them. So that's one of the biggest problems. That's one of the biggest mistakes they made. Fucking with Trump to the point that they made him create his own social media platform where now he's speaking directly to the people and there's no buffer. He says her behavior was totally toxic and not at all conducive to making deals which are good for the very unhappy citizens of Canada. She will not be missed. Trump said that. Freeland's resignation serves as a great because she was pushing all of the bullshit that Trudeau wanted to do. Freeland's resignation serves as a great blow to Trudeau, with the finance minister suggesting an irreparable rift has formed between her and the prime minister over the future of Canada's economy. So that's why she resigned. And this is Trump's comment. She will not be missed. Trump's a funny dude. This is her right there. Freeland specifically referenced the need for Canada to be ready should Trump employ a 25% tariffs that he promised on the campaign trail to implement. That means that our fiscal powder dry. That means keeping our fiscal powder dry today so that we can have the reserves. That's a reference to back in the day. So during the Civil War, they had weapons, their guns and stuff like that. It ran on gunpowder. So they would literally have to pack the gunpowder for whatever they needed, whether they were shooting cannons or whether they were shooting their musket, their guns or whatever. They had to pack the gunpowder. So what happened was it was imperative that they kept the powder dry, because if the powder is not dry, they can't fight. They're going to just get shot at. They're not going to be doing any shooting. So that's the reference that she just made there for everybody that want to be clear. So basically, they got to prepare for the future, I'm guessing she's saying, by not doing nothing stupid today. So we have the reserves we need for a tariff war. That means eschewing costly political gimmicks, which we can ill afford, she wrote. Freeland's departure is likely even more pressure for Trudeau, who is facing backlash to his party's liberal wing, alarmed by poor polling numbers. Yeah, they want that guy up out of there. A lot of people want him up out of there. That's homegirl right there. That's crazy. For all of the people that keep saying Trump is bad, as soon as Trump get back into play, look at all of these liberal places, these liberal countries, and these liberals that just absolutely falling apart now. Oh, and this is on the drone thing. So apparently these drones is near where Bedminster, and that's somewhere where Trump stays. So Trump is like, he's not going back to Bedminster because the drones is over there. And he's like basically hinted to, there's a good chance that those drones are being controlled by his political rivals. We don't know why the drones are there. There was people saying they was looking for nukes, and maybe they are waiting for him to come back, and then they're gonna nuke the place. They're like, we gotta make sure we don't miss this time, boss. We're gonna drop a whole nuke on Trump. We're gonna wait for him to get back to Bedminster. First of all, please don't drop a nuke anywhere on Earth. Could we do that? Or not on Earth. Unless they're not on Earth. This not drop any nukes. The truth is out there. Hold on. Let's see what this says. The truth is out there. President-elect Donald Trump on Monday accused President Biden and the Pentagon of hiding information about mysterious drones spotted hovering above New York and New Jersey and New York. The governor knows what's happening, Trump 78 said after Biden representatives pleaded ignorance despite thousands of Garden State and New York City residents seeing and in some instances photographing the unidentified aircrafts. Look, our military knows where they took it off from. If it's in the garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. The once and future president said during a wide-ranging 70 minutes press conference in Palm Beach, Florida, he was at Mar-a-Lago. Why don't they just want to say Mar-a-Lago? And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. But Trump dodged questions whether he is personally receiving any intelligence briefing on the drones, which has stoked substance fear and speculation. He's 100% should be receiving intelligence briefings. They've been sending him intelligence briefings since he become. So generally speaking, you get intelligence briefings for what's going on once you become the president-elect. That's one. Two, he get intelligence briefings even before he became the president-elect because it was already perceived that he was going to win. So he's been getting a briefing since like August, September, and maybe even before that. And if you remember in one of the debates, I forget if it was Biden or if it was Kamala Harris, but she actually, or he, Biden, one of them actually complained that Trump is getting briefings. I think it was Biden, that Trump is getting intelligence briefings and everything, and people are trying to treat him like he is the current president. I think there was a complaint that they had about that in any regard. But Trump dodged pressure, but Trump dodged answering whether he had personally received any intelligence briefings on the drone, which he has stoked substantial fear and speculation. I don't want to comment on that, he told a reporter. I can't imagine it's the enemy. I can't imagine it's the enemy. I can't imagine it's the enemy, said the future commander-in-chief. Went on another point, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on, Trump said. For some reason, they don't want to tell people, and they should. He added in an apparent joke that he will be canceling this weekend plans to travel to his golf course in Bedminster, New Jersey. They're very close to Bedminster, and I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I decided to cancel my trip. We don't know if he was really going. He's a funny dude. White House spokesman John Kirby last week claimed that the federal officials have not been able to, and neither have the state and local enforcement authorities, corroborate any of the reported visual sightings. Shout out to them guys. None of them has Twitter or Instagram. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, by contrast, called for transparency, saying the public had the right to know. New Yorkers have tremendous questions about the drones, and we're going to get the answers, he said Sunday. He said Sunday, not that he's going to get the answers on Sunday. The White House and the Pentagon did not immediately respond to the Post's request for comments. They probably did respond, but they sent that chick with the curly hair, and she just talked in circles for 20 minutes. And niggas was just like, you know what? They're not responding. She just talked in circles for like 20 minutes. It's like, you know what? They're not responding. We are not accepting this as a response. What in the heck? What is she talking about? All right, what's the next one? We did this one already? I didn't think we did them all. That's crazy, though. The bananas part is this, and this is the part that's absolutely bananas for me. So it's been, when I concentrate, my eyes go like this. People be thinking that be meaning I'm scared. It doesn't. It just means that I'm concentrating. When my eyes go like this, I'm concentrating. I'm concentrating. It does not mean scared. I promise you. In any regard, what we doing? Let's run a promo real quick. Be right back.
So if you are a student between the 8th grade and 10th, 11th, you should be thinking about your future, right? Let me be completely honest with you. Application process, competition level, and all the things that you need to fill out is absolutely brutal. Listen, I understand you're freaking out if you're looking at all the application stuff. I'm here for you. First, you don't want to disappoint your parent. Second, you want to be at the top when compared to your friends because they are your competition. 3, the most important one, how are you even going to afford this? Are you going to be able to afford the loans? Are your parents going to be able to afford it? Are you going to get it done? And finally, to me, the most important, what is it you're going to do in college? You want to be able to go there and actually enjoy your future. So is it really going to be worth it? Absolutely. Hi, my name is Gregory Andres, and I am a college coach, college advisor, and an educator. Over the last 10 years, I've had hundreds of students just like you get into the prestigious universities like Cornell, NYU, Columbia, and Harvard. Comment education below to get a free checklist from me so it can be an easier process for you to where you want to be.
Yeah, I didn't do nothing. I forgot to run the ad earlier. I should have ran it like 3 times. At least 2 times by now and shit. I forgot to run it earlier. And I got a ton of stuff I gotta do on my page today. And I should get to it right now. I'm gonna let y'all go. We're gonna be back later. We're gonna be back gaming specifically. Also, the next week we're gonna be a lot of gaming during the middle of the week. I don't want to explain why. But we will be coming back a little bit later today with some gaming. I just really got to go right now because there's a thing that I got to get to. With that being said, I love y'all. Please go out there in the world, do something worth doing, and stamp God's name on it. Like, comment. Start looking for all the things. Like, comment, subscribes. Join notification game. # Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm
Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Yeah.